Hello, my name is Krupesh Parmar. I'm studying Game Development Advanced Programming at Fanshawe, London. And in this video, I will give you a demo of Project 1 from Artificial Intelligence. So Project 1 is about steering behaviors. Let's first see this in action. Then I will explain some code snippets. So this is the arena, and we are this white character. These are all the enemies. So their color changes depending on the steering behavior they are under control. Let's just hit gameplay and we can see. So the red one are seekers, so they will seek towards you, and purple are pursuers, so they have some ahead values, so they'll take your velocity into consideration, while the seekers only take your position into consideration. The blue one are approachers. They will approach you, but they will keep a distance of 2 radius between you, the radius of the player and their own. And if I turn around, if I face them, they will move away. Their steering behavior will change. Well, of course the approachers will stay the same, but the pursuers are now evader. They are evading you because you can see them, and same for the seekers, they are now fleeing. So for the evaders, if they are under 30 degrees of my vision, then they will evade, otherwise they will pursue, as you can see. However, the seekers and fleer needs to be like exactly behind you, then only they will come chase you, otherwise they will flee. So you can move around the scene with WSD and control the rotation with left and right. You can see the players facing direction in the log up there. It's a vector of 3, x, y, z and z. So right now we are facing into the positive z axis, now the negative. So the enemy will rotate depending on the player's position, so they will keep facing player, and if they are moving away, they will face the opposite. Okay, let's see the code for it, or some snippets. So I have an enemy controller class. So upon initialization, it will take the list of all the game object, the physics system, the player, and it will create enemies. Enemies have 3 types: A, B and C. So A is for seeking and fleeing, B is pursuing and evading, C is just approach. So inside scene editor, I am taking inputs in this function, process input. So this line of code moves the player, this rotates it. This line moves and rotates the player, and after rotating, we immediately calculate the player's facing direction, in which direction player is facing. So since the rotation I am storing in Euler angles, so I'll first find the quaternion with a forward vector, multiplying it by forward vector. So I will get player's facing direction, which I will use in the enemy.cpp file. So if the enemy is type A, then we can seek or flee. So we'll calculate a target vector, then we'll calculate dot product to see whether the player is behind us, the player is facing us or not. Us, I mean in enemy. and I also calculate the angle to rotate here. So it's a arcos method using dot product of the two vectors and dividing it by the multiplication of length of the two vectors to get the angle. And then I will just rotate the enemy depending on that angle. Same for enemy type B. So here in pursuing we take the velocity into consideration as well and some height value. And it's the same as seek and flee. And for the approach, we'll see if we are in between the two radius, so the radius of the enemy and the player. So if we are, then we'll not move, otherwise we'll move. And if the player is moving towards us, then we'll move away. We have to maintain this distance. And again I'm calculating the angle to rotate. So angle calculation takes we need this my facing direction, that is enemy's facing direction. So again same thing, quaternion with a forward vector, and we will have our facing direction, and then we will just rotate the player depending on its facing direction. So this is its current facing direction and this is the target. And that's it. We have 5 different steering behaviors controlling about 11 enemies. Okay, thank you for watching.